All right, Ethan, whenever you're ready.
We get
Hey
shut though.
Kelsey,
Hi.
just I guess overarching, what does it do for this team to finally get that first, true road win?
It's huge for us to be able, especially I thought our defensive effort, especially in the first half, was really good. I thought a lot of the things that we have been working on in practice for the last 5 days, they actually put into play. Our offensive transition, our defensive unity, guarding the certain on balls, but really just getting in help side and doing the things fundamentally sound on defense as a unit. I thought it definitely showed up on the court tonight or today.
I forget the exact numbers that you say, but you have some saying about how many more points you got to have and rebounds on the road when you go play. Y'all certainly needed them today. I know you can't speak on officiating, but it was with just some questionable calls and having to go to like strange lineups. Y'all haven't played much. What was that like for you as a coach to see your team be able to still play the way it did, even with lineups that aren't, the normal?
I think just our players being able to rise to the occasion. I tell them you never know when you're going to get your moment and you have to seize it. So I tried to remind him there was a little lull there where we weren't scoring. We did have a lineup in that, like you said, we don't play a lot, but at the same time, I'm like, you're all capable of scoring. So settle down, share the basketball, and when you get the open shot, you have to knock it down. Everyone has that opportunity within the offense to take a good shot. I thought we needed to be a little bit more physical, and then we came out, and I think Marin hit a runner at the rim, and then we were able to kind of just settle in. Maria made some good back to the basket moves. So it kind of helped us relax. But at the end of the day, we just have to be more physical. And I always say you got to be 10 points, 10 rebounds better. And we definitely were able that made a difference at the end of this game. The rebounds and then just having that little cushion. We knew they'd make a run. We held them really well on the 3-point line until the very end. Especially in that fourth quarter, they kind of broke open some of those threes. But other than that, we guarded the 3-point line really well. We just got to finish that.
You established it pretty early and you continued playing through your bigs a lot. Was that something you just saw on film that maybe y'all could exploit in this game, or was that just kind of how it played out?
Well, I think one thing we've got to focus on getting it inside some, and I thought my guards were able to see that, make better passes and decisions, and then when it turned into some one-on-one post moves around the rim, those are good shots for us. Our post players work on that on a daily basis.
Yeah, and then just in your offense on a day where y'all just shoot not typical from the 3-point line for y'all to outscore them in the paint like you did. Um, I guess what's the importance of that within your offense to be able to still score even when those threes aren't falling?
I think that when they're not falling, one, I thought we did a good job of rebounding, but two, you've got to really force the issue of getting to the rim and sharing it. And I thought those second and third attacks made a difference. I mean, there were a few times we shot the three ball a little early, but we did a better job of once they weren't falling, of getting to that second and third attack and getting downhill and able to get us some good little mid range or some layups actually.
Yeah. Just want to talk about Jen. Is it for you to have a player like her who comes off the bench that provides that instant, just kind of offensive capability?
Obviously the scouting report's going to say Jenna can shoot it. She has a quick release and she's long. So when she comes in, it definitely pulls the defense. So I think it opens up some driving lanes. And then if you give her space and you give her a little bit of open range, she's usually pretty efficient from the 3-point line. And she honestly didn't start out super efficient from the 3-point line. But you know what I love is she kept shooting. She didn't lose her confidence. She kept playing through that. She found a way to get that and one towards the end of the second half. Then she got loose when they started to zone and she hit that shot. She hits the mid range. She's just so dynamic because she can score. I love the fact that she kept her confidence, she kept her composure, and she kept fighting through that because then she ended up being our leading scorer, which is what she's capable of.
Yeah, something that we've seen this year that maybe we didn't see a whole lot of her first 2 years here is her just put the ball on the floor and drive. Is that something y'all had to work on as far as just getting her to know that that can be a part of her game?
Absolutely. I think it's important in the dribble drive. You got to have shooters, but you also have to understand if they do come out and they run you off the line, that doesn't mean you have to get downhill and score every time, but you got to be able to get to the right spots, to the drop zones to where you can drop the ball back off or get downhill and score. I mean, she's long and she's aggressive and she's not scared of contact. So we've really worked on trying to, really push her out of her comfort zone. And I think she's embraced that and really worked on all aspects of her game.
I know she was limited with foul trouble, but what did you think that Bonnie gave y'all in her 21 minutes that she got to play?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we know Bonnie can guard and Bonnie can rebound, but I thought she kind of slowed down and she relaxed and was able to score. She made some really good passes, and I thought, we kind of mixed some things up offensively with having her take the ball out, kind of gets her in a different spot to kind of see the floor a little different, and I think that allowed her to really utilize her skills down that lane line.
And then last thing I'll ask is just defensively, what was kind of the game plan coming in, knowing that this Missouri State team can put up, that they've proven that they can score the ball?
We definitely had to guard the 3-point line. I thought, we did a really good job with our post players of putting them in the ice, blowing up some of their plays. We knew that they wanted to get it into the pinch post. We had to guard the split screen action really well. So communication, we knew we couldn't let 24 kind of get loose. She did in the fourth quarter. But I thought we did a pretty decent job, especially in the first half, of holding her and trying to contain her. But we didn't really let him get flowing with hitting some wide open threes until we gave him those 2 transition threes in the fourth quarter and then those flare screens late in the game. But other than that, I thought we guarded the 3-point line really well. And then our goal was to try to keep them out of the middle of the floor. We did that. We did a decent job of that. And I thought that our help side did a really good job of getting there. So I think just being a unit defensively was one of the game plans. And I thought we definitely did a much better job of that than we had in the last few games.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Whenever you're ready.
Sweet. Hey, Jenna, just to get the first road win of the year for the team, just how much did y'all need this, especially coming off a week where y'all had finals and all that too?
Yeah, it was really nice. Especially after SMU, we really wanted that game. And this week with finals, but we still had a full week to prepare for us and work on us. So it was really good, and we really emphasized Missouri State and just really wanted to win.
Yeah. The basket you made that kind of got it all started for you, I think you got a rebound or something on one end and dribbled all the way down and scored. That it seems like it's a new element to your game this year where you're really confident just putting it on the floor and driving. How have you worked on that? Or is it something you've had all along and just kind of had to bring it out?
It's something I definitely had all along, but it kind of got tucked away these past 2 years that coaches got back out of me. So it took a little bit. She's been coaching me to dribble up the court for a while, and I'm finally, starting to get back into I call it my high school game because I used to do that in high school. But yeah, it feels good to be back to what I used to be like.
Yeah, just today, obviously, with the officiating, y'all had a lot of players in foul trouble. Some different lineups y'all haven't had, a whole lot this year. How were y'all able to maintain? It felt like just kind of consistency, no matter what lineup was in there.
We just stuck to the game plan. We all, knew the scout really well. We all knew what we were supposed to do, and I felt like we did that really well. And I'm proud of Marin and Jada and Maria and all of us who came up and stepped in whenever the some of them got foul trouble. So yeah, we just stuck to the plan and did it.
Yeah. Obviously, coach likes to bring you in off the bench, even though you're putting up, numbers like a normal starter numbers. Is that something that, y'all have talked about just needing to be that spark, coming into a game? Or is that something you're comfortable with being, kind of that first off the bench option?
I mean, I no, we haven't really talked about it, but I mean, I just want to do whatever I can to contribute to the team. So if it's being the spark off the bench or being a starter, it doesn't really matter. All I worry about is whenever I get out there, just contributing like I know I can and just being the offensive threat that I am. So.
What's it like for you on the bench? I guess getting ready for knowing that you're going to check in at some point pretty early, but what are those moments like kind of getting ready to be that spark?
Um, I like to examine the defense and see how they're playing in the game because sometimes it's not like anything can happen. So I like to examine and see what I can get whenever I get in there and just telling myself like just to have confidence, that's something that I've lacked. Obviously, I've said it 1,000 times, but yeah, just knowing that whenever I get in there, just shoot the ball and with confidence. So.
Yeah. What did you think of the way that y'all's bigs played today? And it looked like y'all played through them quite a bit. Whether it was to get kind of a response basket or even early with Ashley and kind of getting y'all that first.
Yeah, I'm really proud of Ash and Maria who really stepped in. Ash had a really good game. And we knew that this game was going to be really good for them, so we just wanted to give them the ball as much as we could.
Yeah. Defensively, what was y'all's mindset going into this one?
We had some key players that we knew we needed to lock down, and I feel like we did that really well. And yeah, we just really emphasized their sets and their defense. And yeah, that was really our big emphasis for this game was defense and not letting their key players score the ball.
Yeah. And then last thing I want to ask you is whenever they started to make their kind of run toward the end, y'all had a response to kind of put it away. What was kind of the message in the huddle after that 10-0 run or whatever they went on that made it kind of a game there for a second?
Our coaches were just saying, we knew they were going to have a run. They hadn't had a run yet in the game, so we knew it was coming. Just honestly, just keep our composure and just respond. And I feel like we did that really well. So we weren't really too rattled. We knew it was coming, but it was just what we were going to do, and just like respond. So
Sweet. That's all I got. Other than I think
Yep.
I thought your toe was behind the line.
Thank you.
I-
Thank you.